Hey y'all, I'm Joe. Okay, so what is the basis of organic chemistry? I get this asked a lot, and so based on what I've seen over the past 10 years of tutoring, this is how I would summarize the entire topic in one sentence. The basis of organic chemistry is negative charges chasing positive charges. So things that have electrons chasing things that do not have electrons. And so if you think about it this way, electrons always flow from areas of high density down to low density. And so there are a few ways that you can refer to this as. You can refer to it as a sink, where things that have electrons are going to flow into areas that don't have electrons. There are a few different variations on the theme about things that have electrons and things that don't have electrons, and that's what you spend most of your time doing in the class. But the biggest piece of advice that I can give you as you go through organic chemistry is to ask yourself, in any problem, if you're stuck, where are my electrons? So what I recommend doing is you look for lone pairs. You look for negative charges. And if you have lone pairs or negative charges, those things are going to tend to flow to areas that don't have electrons. Either they have less than their full valence shell, or they have partial positives, partial negatives. But without getting too much into that, just be on the lookout for the electrons, because almost every reaction you'll see, electrons will flow high density to low density. The other piece of advice that I can give you is know your strong acids and know your strong bases. So the thing that helped me the most as I was going through the class is my old organic chemistry professor used to say that the fastest recorded reaction in the history of the universe is an acid-base reaction. So proton transfer. A base grabbing hydrogen from an acid. And so if you have a strong acid or if you have a strong base, if you remember those lists that you probably had to memorize from Gen Chem, if you have one of those over your reaction arrow, that is pretty much guaranteed to be the first thing that is going to react in a reaction. So let me give you an example. You have a random compound, and over the reaction arrow you have HCl. Well, HCl is a strong acid. You know that the quickest recorded reaction in all of history is proton transfer. And so acids like to give up hydrogen, so HCl is going to give hydrogen to something. And it's going to give hydrogen in the form of H+, which doesn't have very many electrons, so it's probably going to be giving that H+ to something that has electrons. Back to that example of things flowing from high density to low density. And so that's how I would summarize the class in a nutshell, and I hope this helps. Take care.